right. Welcome to week 11. Welcome back from both spring break a couple weeks ago, and I know last week I was just meeting with individuals, so we are back sort of together, online together. And really, we at this point are starting to head into the final stretch. The topic for this week is going to be Web 2.0 or interactive web or participational web. It goes by a couple of different names. And out of that, you will be locating some web tools that you can incorporate into your Google lesson projects. Next week, the topic will be assessment. And at that point, that is really, in terms of new instructional material, kind of it for the course. So we'll be able to spend the last several weeks just wrapping up final projects, putting the finishing touches on things, and starting to bring things to a close. So the work for this week is pretty straightforward. To start off with, just sort of in an introductory way, have a page that just briefly introduces the idea of Web 2.0 and a couple of links to some resources where you can look up some additional information. And at the bottom here, 4 of what are many, many, many websites out there that provide links to various Web 2.0 sites that you might be able to incorporate into classroom settings. You have probably already been using some Web 2.0 resources in your classrooms and maybe not even known that that's what it was called. But coming out of this week, you should have a better idea of what all of that is about and how it's useful and so on. So once you've taken a look through the basic information, then the next step is it's our final of our production forums, production forum number 4. And obviously, I'm not going to be asking you to author an interactive website. That goes way beyond the scope of this course. However, what you are going to be doing is looking for possible websites that you could incorporate into your Google lesson projects, doing a little cross analysis of those 3, and then out of those 3, selecting one that you would like to move forward with in your Google lessons. So this is going to be more sort of an evaluation of existing tools and figuring out which one you're going to use, creating a post about it, and then as always posting to the actual forum itself. And this is not, it's a production forum, not a discussion forum, so you do not need to comment on other people's posts. However, as you're looking for possible Web 2.0 resources to use, you might want to check out what other people are looking at and posting about, especially if there are people who are in your same subject area or grade level. You might find some interesting ideas from others of some Web 2.0 tools to look at. So that is our Web 2.0 stuff. The other thing for this week is to get our final phase, our final production phase of our technology integration plans underway, phase 4. And this one is all about the training aspect, either professional development or student development. So if you are doing a TIP that is focused on a piece of hardware or software, then this phase 4 is going to be about how you train the people who are going to need to use that software or hardware to use it, and making sure that you have a plan to make sure that they know what to do with it. If you're doing a TIP that is more geared towards training, so in that case, maybe there's technology already in your classroom or in your work setting, and your goal is to get people trained on that, then obviously this phase is going to be pretty important to your plan, because you will be describing how you plan to bring that training to your target audience. So regardless of what direction your TIP is going, training is going to be a huge piece of bringing any technology into a setting, and oftentimes is the one that gets overlooked, as we've talked about in the past. So the guidelines for what phase 4 should include is here. It is not due until week 14, which is April 25th, so close to the end of the month. And That's really the final piece of the technology integration plans. The final work on that is going to be just bringing the 4 phases together and creating just one coherent document out of them. So not a lot of new writing, more just editing, just pasting all 4 of your phases together and then editing them together so that they make a coherent plan to be presented. I'm going to actually make that final plan available next week because I know some of you want to start putting the finishing touches on some of these projects and start getting them wrapped up. But you do not need to start working on that next week, but I will make that available for those of you that get phase 4 done and want to just roll right into getting their final documents put together. So that'll come out next week. So again, this week is about Web 2.0 or interactive web and about technology integration plan phase 4. Next week is about assessment. And then the final several weeks, we were going to be just starting to wrap everything up and get these 2 main projects put together and submitted. So reach out with any questions you may have, and we will be back next week with week 12 on assessment. All right, have a great week, and I'll talk to you all soon.